It's the ultimate boy band collaboration.
Two groups like us have never done this before.
New Kids on the Block and the Backstreet Boys unite.
We're here, I guess, making history.
Two pop supergroups with countless hits and over 200 million albums sold worldwide.
We've all been blessed to have great success, have great fans, and fulfill our dreams.
Everybody thinks we should be rivals. Everybody thinks we're fighting for the same fans, but we're not. You know, we're here to entertain the masses. The response from the crowd is everything.
Brand new music. Brand new tour.
Rock front, right, left.
A brand new band.
It's just going to be so iconic and so amazing because we're doing it mainly for the fans.
Get ready as eTalk presents NKOTBSB.
Hey, welcome to a very special edition of eTalk Presents. It's special because I am here with a super duper super group, NKOTBSB, right? Welcome to Toronto. So I gotta be honest with you. First of all, the energy here is palpable. Ooh. It's draining me. I'm just kidding, but you look like you're all having fun together. This is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just because a lot of testosterone on the couch. That's all. I mean, it's
Well,
biologically.
It's alive and well.
you can imagine how I feel now sitting by myself here on this side. I've never interviewed 9 people either at the same time either. Is it an easier experience when you're all together trying to do an interview, or is it like everyone talking over each other?
Joe and I are experienced because we both come from families of 9, so this is very normal for the two of us.
Normal.
You just jump in, and if someone interrupts, you keep arguing and keep talking over each other, and it's all good.
So your fans are very lucky because this is like a dream come true for a lot of us probably. How did this actually come about? The formation of the supergroup.
Howie?
okay. I put it together.
We should have a bottle here, right?
You know, it just kind of naturally happened. I mean, we've known these guys for, my goodness, over, what, 18 years since we first started.
Yeah.
We had a previous manager that was a tour manager for them back in the days, and he kind of just schooled us on, you know, what they went through, and throughout the years we got to know them. They came around, and there's always been a mutual respect for each other's work. I mean, we definitely give them credit for, you know, paving the way for groups like us to come and other groups, you know, after us. And, you know, when they came back with their reunion tour, we coincidentally were on tour ourselves.
Right.
And Donnie called and said, hey, you guys are going to be coming through New York. What about the possibilities of you guys coming on stage? We're thinking about doing I Want It That Way. And we think we would be a pretty cool shock factor to the crowd if you guys came up and sang with us.
And so how was that moment? Take me back there when that happened.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know, we're coming into a whole new audience. You know, it was all New Kids fans. Even though we saw a couple Backstreet fans at the New Kids show, which was kind of funny. But it's
Like regulars that stalk you guys? Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But the actual reaction was overwhelming. I mean, it was outstanding. These guys opened up and sang the first verse of I Want It That Way, and then curtain lifts, and there we are. And
Oh my God.
And they
crowd
took it home, folks.
bonkers, and it was just,
You know,
this all
mayhem.
fits.
Yeah.
It just fits.
There's noises that there are noises in crowd like audiences that you can make a lot of noise and scream and high pitch and stuff like that. But
What does
there's
that
also
sound like?
like a little 13-year-old girl screaming, you know.
Like a squeal.
But you know, I mean, the older we are now, I think, you know, when the curtain came up and we were revealed with them on stage, it was one of those noises that you could actually feel.
Wow.
You know, it pushes you like in your chest. And
You all felt that?
I think for a second there was silence, actually. They were like...
And then some of the fans, it was a different.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was a different thing, though. It was what Brian, I think, is saying is we've heard certain sounds. We know the sound. I mean, even like the sound of sitting down eating dinner and some girl walks by the window of the restaurant and screams. It's like, you know, you can see it from your peripheral. You don't even have to hear it. It's like,
I'm sure
I just got recognized. Okay.
Yeah.
We've been doing this since we were all kids.
Yeah.
But that reaction that night was just different than anything.
Have you ever heard that sound and then realized that they weren't doing it for you, and then you...
Well, that's another chapter. Well, no, actually, I mean, that's funny you say that.
Because you get used to it, right?
Like,
So
yeah,
you just
get
think
used to
it's
it.
like...
I mean, there's times where you're so used to that you know, that giggle or that scream or whatever that, you know, in our downtime, in my downtime after the craziness of when we first came out, yeah, it took a while. I was like, oh, they're just laughing with their friends. Okay, good. I'm going to go back to eating my lunch. But it's just a reaction, you know, it's kind of like a, so, yeah, but that was the first time we performed together was it was Radio City Music Hall in New York. It was just special on so many levels, and you know, it was great that it worked out. And we just figured, wow, the reaction was so great that we felt like we could take it one step further.
And it's an obvious fit. Because look what we have here. Hey, it's been worked out a little bit. I'm sorry, I have to apologize. So it's hard, I would imagine, since both of you have such extensive catalogs, to kind of whittle it down and decide which songs would actually make the cut and which wouldn't. How does that get figured out? And
it's
then
easy.
With the new tracks.
We let the fans decide. See that?
So tell us about that campaign.
Well, we let the fans pick their top 5 from each group, and then we had a couple of new songs. Don't Turn Out the Lights is the first single, and All in My Head, and it was a great way to have the fans involved. And in the booklet, there's like thousands of fans' names in there as well. So, you know, we wouldn't be here without the fans.
For picking the songs.
Yeah, credit for everything. They get all the credit.
Yeah, I think actually the CD was pretty easy. You know, like he said, the fans got to choose it. It was more so the harder part was putting the show together. Because, you know, we've both been blessed with so many hits over the years that, you know, trying to combine that into a little, you know, a little over 2-hour show is the harder part. But, you know, we have an amazing band. We did a 6-week rehearsal where we combined all of our ideas. We were, you know, together at a sound stage, and, you know, I think we're proud to say that we put a good show together.
And then we just like, if it would come down to this every once in a while, little circle, and we just fight over it. Literally, physically fight over the idea.
Fight over the...
Yeah, it was like beat it. It was like beat it.
I get to wear the pink tie on this song, damn it. I want to wear a pink shirt.
I love the brotherly love. All right, don't go anywhere. We have more with NKOTBSB after the break. Oh, it's good times here, right? It's good times here at eTalk because we're sitting down with NKOTBSB, New Kids on the Block, and the Backstreet Boys, in case you guys are living under a rock. Welcome back. Okay, so we're going to get to the tour in a minute because I know a lot of people actually in the office that went to the show last night here in Toronto. Came back with rave reviews, said it kicked ass. Oh, yeah? It's awesome.
Thank you.
Everyone here.
Thank you.
Everyone to the show, thank you.
Look up from your computer.
But you know, millions of albums sold, international tours, you know, decades in the biz. You've come so far, and yet I think in order to have that success, you kind of have to go through some things, right? Personal, you know, breakups or triumphs or, you know, fighting your demons. So, Jonathan, I want to ask you.
Oh, boy.
That, you know what, it's nice to see you without your sunglasses on this time around.
Thank you. I got some good sleep last night.
You got some good sleep. And so I know that when we last talked, that it was a little uncomfortable for you to kind of be around strangers all of the time. Has that gotten better for you? And if so, how has that happened?
Actually, you know what? It's funny because somebody said yesterday I look a lot more comfortable on stage. So I don't feel it, but as long as I look it, then that's half the battle.
You've got a good quaff happening.
Yes,
I gotta tell you.
My Elvis do.
Yeah. And so is it easier to get through things, I think, when you have your brothers and your friends around, your family?
Absolutely. I mean, I know for me, dealing with my alcohol and, you know, drugs and whatnot, you know, being around these guys for almost 20 years, you know, it's an awesome support group. And then now having 5 extra guys that are equally as supportive, it definitely helps. You know, I mean, being on the road, traveling, it is hard for all of us. I mean, whether it's with addiction, whether it's dealing with, you know, family issues, whatever it may be, it's definitely difficult. But, you know, we all support each other and we all are there for each other, and we are family.
Let me also say something.
Go ahead, Nick.
No, I just think I think one. I'm just going to extend off of AJ. I think the one thing as well is you're accountable to, you know, 8 other guys. You know, everyone's watching. I mean, like, I think it really challenges us to be better people. You know what I mean? Because I think both groups are challenging each other, even when we're on stage, but in a positive way to make each other better, you know, in life, in entertainment.
Yeah.
I think this gives a whole new fire to each other that I think we've never had before.
Oh, nice.
And or that sometimes can go out with, you know, years of monotony. So I think now it's just super cool.
It just feels fresh. Like it's
agree
like
with that. Nick.
Nice kill off for me,
Nick
'cause
always
it
drops
feels
some
bad.
gems, man. He drops gems.
He
If I
drops
can-
some
I was
gems.
gonna add one thing though. Sometimes it takes outside perspective too. Like we did a show a week ago, and one of our favorite basketball players from the Boston Celtics, Ray Allen, came to the show, and his wife wrote an email after the show, and he put a little note in it, and he said it's amazing to see such teamwork, and to think that you guys have been doing it for, you know, these guys for 25 years and these guys for 20 years. It's like it's amazing. And he said the word he used was it's like they're soulmates. It's like they're true soulmates. And you know, I would never say that these guys are my soulmates, but I took a breather after it and I thought about it, and I was like, we really are, you know, connected in a way that is going to last forever. And it's, you know, we're going to be old men, and we're going to go to our kids' weddings, and you know, it's just things are going to happen, and you can see it with Backstreet Boys as well. I mean, it's sometimes it's hard to think about it in the moment because we just work, we do our job, and we show up, but we show up like a family.
But it's nice to be able to do something, your job, but you love it, it's your passion, and to share it with your brothers and,
Yes.
and an extended family.
It's a whole new
We all live
experience.
for
It
this.
really is.
We're all performers. You can't put one of us on stage and not ham it up. I
Yeah.
mean, we're all performers,
Yeah.
so we live for this.
Okay, so you just said one of us on stage and not ham it up. Would that be you?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Most
you
of the
put
time?
me on. That's where I eat, sleep, breathe. I live. I don't know anything else. I know nothing else.
You know
Yes, you
nothing but
do.
I know
ham.
nothing but performing.
You know
I've been in
segues.
this business since I was 3, so I live to perform.
You know a British accent. You know British accents.
I do know that as well. So either way,
I love it. I love it. Okay,
Do it
so
all day
speaking
like
of being a
King.
family, right? I'm sure you've gotten to know each
like
other
Dick
much
Van
better
Dyke.
while you're on tour. So we're going to do a little quiz here, all right? Who is most likely to be seen hanging out with fans?
Donnie.
Be seen living
Or me.
and sleeping and eating with fans.
Who is most likely to wear sunglasses during an interview?
Hey, Jay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say John on this one.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
this is just my trademark. I've done it for 20 years. My
Okay.
vision's been impaired because of it. Seriously.
Who is most likely to
who's most likely to wear shades in the bathtub? AJ. Who's most likely?
It doesn't matter where.
forget their cue on stage?
I'll take that one.
Yeah?
I'll take that
I'll
one.
take it from mine on my side.
I was
as
gonna
well.
say,
Be
Really?
quiet over there, buddy.
Who's
Knight
most
Brothers and Howie
likely
D.
to trash their hotel room?
Nobody.
Anymore.
nobody anymore.
Not
You need
anymore.
organization.
Back in the days, it
Oh.
was this
You
one
really
here
do.
and that one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's definitely
that's not
Nick and I
back in the days. Back in the days.
Plus
I
that
ain't that
costs
person
money
no
too.
Oh yeah.
We realized that, oh,
You
they
get the bill the
charge you
next day,
back.
you're like, oh.
Depends on the year, that question. Depends on the year.
Most likely to need a nap after the show?
After the, or before the show.
Before the show, yes.
I'm a
After,
nap
no.
freak, yeah. I get very cranky if I don't get my nap.
And
Oh,
that-
crankier, actually.
Freakier if you don't get your nap.
Crankier.
Crankier.
Freakier.
I can't, I'm sorry.
Nice kill, Austin.
Gutter.
I can't hear him.
Straight for the kill, Ostrich.
Fun, what can I say? We're hanging out with NKOTBSB. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.